Hey everybody, welcome back to Crappy Design. This video is brought to you by our incredible sponsors you should definitely check out. We got the like button, it's down below the video, you can click on it, it's pretty cool. And also the Fallen Kingdom Minecraft server, you can play on Minecraft Java 1.16 at play.fallenkingdom.co. You can copy paste the IP from the description, type it in manually. Also, I know we've had some tech issues over the past few days. Basically, we've been suffering from success in that a lot of people seem to be interested and enjoying it, and the server's having a hard time handling it. So hopefully that's behind us now. I don't know, because I'm recording this slightly in advance, but thanks for bearing with us. I appreciate it, and we're working hard on it if it's not quite yet sorted. That said, let's start off with number 19. Color indicators in this graph don't do anything. Blue, earthquake, 61%. Not seeing any blue on the graph. I'm just seeing kind of depressing, which I guess corresponds to the color blue to an extent. If it weren't for the percentages over here, you would have no idea what this is actually showing in terms of what slice corresponds to what natural disaster. You kind of don't need both though. Like, you don't need the colors in the pie chart if you have the words and the percents. And if you have the pie chart, then you don't need to put the percentages there because they're shown on the chart if you show the colors properly. So one or the other. Instructions: gray goes to gray, white goes to white. Both plugs are both colors. My first instinct would be that it's the color of the tip of the plug that corresponds to the receptor, but I don't know. Because, oh God. Hopefully the worst that happens here is that it just doesn't send out the signal if you get it wrong, and then you can just put it the other way and you're fine. Hopefully it's not like you work for CERN and like these have to be right before you fire off the particle accelerator. Otherwise you've wasted like $1 billion or whatever it costs to run that thing each time. So, if that's the case, no pressure. This is the best hand model they could find. I love these clickbait ads. Who clicks on these? Wow, this tiny device will turn your house to Wi-Fi heaven. Internet providers don't want you buying one, but they're not illegal. Oh, thank goodness, dude. I was super worried that the Wi-Fi mesh I set up in my house was gonna have the FBI knocking on my door. They'd be like, "Sir, we made a measurement outside of your house, and we noticed that your Wi-Fi signal is too strong. It would appear you're stealing internet from the rest of us. That's a federal crime. You're going away for a long time." I had a real fear that was gonna take place. The cyber police, they were gonna be after me, and thank goodness this ad has really put me at ease. One armed mother and a demon child. Oh God. The way I read this, I thought it was like a mother who is armed, like she's carrying a rifle or something, and then in the other hand she's carrying a demon child, and I was like, wow, that sounds like a very intimidating picture. Like one of the horsewomen of the apocalypse, she's riding into forked shorts up, but this makes slightly more sense, although maybe not at the same time. Maybe it's cold. She's hiding the one arm in the jacket, but then, you got to do that PDA with the other arm. But then, I don't know what happened to the kid over here. Is it like a headband that has the animal ears on it? Are little girls just like, they're also elves? Did her head turn into the snitch from Harry Potter? I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Like, you better catch it before it flies away. Anyway, whatever. This awful Photoshop job of a candle making kit. We just have a little theme of stock images going on here that are photoshopped together. What is this actually, though? Because none of these photos seem to indicate somebody making candles. It's just kids in various circumstances, and possibly young adults, and they're just like doing things. And also, by the way, here's the candle making kit, which, like, what is it? It's a pot to heat up the wax, presumably, and then you have the fancy looking things to pour it into, but isn't the wax solid when you get it? So really what you're doing here is you're taking a solid wax, you're putting it in a pot, heating it up so it's a liquid, and you're pouring it into the other thing. So what you've done is you've just like moved the wax from here to here. So you took something that maybe wasn't shaped as a candle, maybe it was more of a ball to begin with, and then you like then you put it into there, and while it was wet, maybe you put the wick inside of it. And then, congratulations. I assume that's how this works. Actual size is not the actual size. That's kind of surprising, actually, because Linksys is like a major brand when it comes to internet-related devices, modems, routers, adapters, what have you. So, yeah, for that to be really off, come on, Linksys. What you doing there, dude? That's actually problematic because depending upon how your USB ports are oriented, if you're doing this with a laptop or a desktop computer, it just like blocks the adjacent ones so they can't be used. So you're like, cool, now I can't have everything plugged in. If you're on a desktop, I have to get a hub. Got this cool temporary tattoo, shark. Oh, is the shark part of the tattoo? Because yeah, I'm always a fan of, when somebody gets a tattoo, it's always good to just like add a caption below it, just so that people know what they're looking at. If it's kind of abstract or a fantasy scenario, like you just add a caption down beneath. Always a good idea. Like if you get some crazy looking piece of art tattooed on you and you don't add a caption, what are you doing? I'm gonna have to ask you and you're actually gonna have to describe what it is. You could just save the time. I wouldn't have had to bother you if you just wrote it down beneath like a museum exhibit, okay? It would have cost $0 to flip that pizza around. You had one job. How do you... I just... okay. Maybe they were worried about trademark infringement. I'm sure they're not the first people to have the idea of using the pizza slice for the A. So maybe they were like, the shop around the corner, they've been doing it forever. So if we do it, they'll sue us and then we're going to be in a whole bunch of trouble. So if we just flip it over, then it doesn't look enough like it and we'll be fine. That must be why. It wasn't just a stupid mistake. And they certainly can't fix it now. There's no way. It's stuck there forever. Apparently there's only 12 inches between our head and waist. I mean, if you're me, there might only be 12 inches between head and waist. You get it because I'm short. But honestly, this is a real problem with height charts in general. I don't know if you've ever looked at a height chart of like, what's the average height of people in various countries? But it's always like this, where the scale of the models or the drawings of the people are just, they don't correspond to the numbers on the side. It just doesn't. Why? Why do you make it so it's like the top of the heads hit the place where they're supposed to go, but then the rest, when it just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's not the scale. Why? Why is this so difficult? High security parking garage with a simple flaw. Oh, a CDC. Yeah, that seems pretty serious. You want some high security there when it comes to the CDC. I would assume they're dealing with some pretty serious stuff. Also probably pretty inundated right about at this moment. Have been for the last year or so. Okay, cool. Locked, and then, there's just a gap you can walk through. You see, the CDC is a lot more focused on microscopic things, not macroscopic, okay? If it's something you can see, obviously, like a person, well, just not their specialty, all right? So protocol against microscopic things spreading out of whatever their containment when they're doing tests, I'm sure that's pretty well thought out. It's people. People not nearly as dangerous as the pathogens inside the building. Probably for sure, actually. So you cut them some slack. They're under a lot of pressure right now. This Amazon listing that used hue/saturation tool to show the color options for a bathrobe. No, actually what happened is she was out in the sun for way too long. Really needs to go to the hospital, but instead just went to the photo shoot for the bathrobe. So hopefully she got the medical care that she needed before the skin started coming off from that bad of a sunburn. That's a bad image to think about. But anyway, hey, you guys know that in Photoshop, you can actually do a hue saturation adjust on just a particular subset of colors in an image. So unless the bathrobe and the person started off with pretty similar skin tone, you could have just isolated the bathrobe's tone and changed that. And even if they were the same, there's ways to rotoscope it. You tried. Stobstacles and gopportunities. I mean, I get what they're trying to say. This isn't that bad. I get that it's like the shape of the sign is an O, and then inside it's like stop the obstacles or stop at obstacles so you don't run into them and crash. And go when you see the opportunities. It's not the worst. As whatever. That's not a fox. Just trying to impersonate one, okay? It's just always looked up to foxes since it was born, and it was like, when I grow up as a raccoon, I want to be a fox. That's how it works, right? It's like caterpillars to butterflies. I'm pretty sure that a baby fox, like that life stage is as a raccoon, and then they hibernate, and they form a protective shell, and then they emerge from their hibernation, and it's a fox. That is biologically correct, so don't give this person crap. Plant-dyed underwear on Etsy. Well, I mean, if you're looking for crappy design, wowee. I guess there you have it. Did you buy these? Were you expecting them to look different? is this the product image off of Etsy? Because if it's the product image off of Etsy, I feel like they could have found a way to make it more appealing, even if it just, like, it's wrinkly and there's bad lighting on it, and it's just like, that's not a way to sell a product. But I guess you do you. What do they do? Just leave white underwear out with flowers sitting on it for a while, and then now I can sell this. A bag of apples with a character on it that got poisoned by an apple. I mean, you know, kids these days, they even know what Snow White is. And when was that made? Like back in 1920? Wasn't Snow White the first animated Disney movie? So you expect kids these days to know the plot of Snow White. You just add a Disney princess. It's gonna sell the apples better, even if she ate a poisoned apple, and that's part of the plot point. So no one's gonna realize this at this point, right? I don't know. This candle melts its own container. That thing it's toasty. Oh my God, it's melting glass? Or is it plastic? Oh, it must be plastic, because that burns intensely hot if it melts the glass. Oh my God. You could do like a blown glass factory in your living room with that candle. See, where you went wrong here is you didn't get the candle making kit and pour it into the fancy container. That's your problem. All right, you should have done that, and then it would have been fine. Ballroom where everyone downstairs can see up your skirt. Ladies, please note you are standing on a glass floor and guests can see up from below. Are we sure this was crappy design and not intentional from someone who was going to get a kick out of doing it? Because I'm honestly not so sure. Oh, man. I think somebody did this on purpose. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And after the fact, the whoever, you know, developed the building or whoever occupied it, the hotel leasing from whoever developed it is like, really, guys? You did? Really? I mean, you could probably just go and put up, like, you could block it somehow, whether it's from the bottom or from the top. Like, there's ways to fix this, but you've just opted not to. My parents' bathroom is on a platform next to an angled ceiling, so you hit your head every time, and it has a telephone. Yeah, but is it made of carpet? It's not made of carpet. It's not as bad as it could be, okay? The last one, way worse. Hey, my grandma had a telephone in her bathroom, all right? So that's a thing that people can have. I know that now everyone just uses their cell phone, but what if the call comes in and it's very important and you're sitting on the toilet? That would suck, right? What if stonks are very relevant these days? What if it's way back before you had the trading apps and stuff on your phone and you had your broker calling like, do you want to sell? Do you want to sell? And you're on the toilet and you missed your like $100,000 trade, okay? Yeah, now who's laughing about having the phone on the toilet? And the top for the last month of crappy design, curves on this slide. This is just painful. Oh my God. That was way worse than I thought just by the thumbnail. Oh my God. Just, ow. Just getting destroyed. Whoever made this just like hates children, but somehow got employed designing a kid's park and was like, I am going to use this to take my revenge. No one's going to realize the subtle things I'm doing to just absolutely decimate the children in this park until it's too late, and then they won't have the budget to fix it. Oh my God. Was the person filming just like, I know this is going to go badly, but I'm not going to warn this child about it who's just about to get yeeted? Poor thing, dude. Well, that's it for the last month of crappy design. Make sure to like. If you like, check out the playlist. If you want to catch more of this, subscribe to the channel. If you want to catch the last crappy design video, you can click the end screen up here. Latest Marin music upload down below it. And play.fallenkingdom.co for Minecraft. I'll see you later.